Hey guys, Sheldon back with another review, and today we're looking at the super action statue Diavolo from Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5, Golden Wind or Bento Arreo, the big bad of Part 5. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box really quickly though. So here you go. Some of the stands, or not stands, poses you can put them in. Of course, the Harlequin pattern as well. It's a nice little green gradient, kind of looks like a watermelon. And then some of the accessories he comes with, which we'll take a look at pretty soon. But then here's the box. Let me just pull out a little bit. So just some box art over here, more box art, and then just the box window. Alright, cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories. Okay, so this is essentially all the accessories he comes with. Just want to give you a little visual over here. So let's take a closer look very quickly here. So for his hands, he actually has, wow, it's so bright. He actually has different hands for either side, except for the fist hands he comes with, of course. But mostly he has right hands here, and we'll take a closer look at that in a second. And he also has this sweater accessory and an alternate head. So let me just kind of put this camera down for a sec, and let's take a look at the big accessories first. So over here he's got his alternate head. And something that was really surprising is how well the eyes are painted. I don't know if you can tell, but the irises or pupils or whatnot are painted fairly differently from normal. I think Diavolo normally has different eyes, but it's really cool that they had such a small detail in there. He's even got eyelashes, and so you see on the hair, even on the inside, he's got this green spot throughout. So the head sculpt and hair, really nice, and the hair is it's a little soft. But it still does kind of get in the way in the thicker parts over here. So this is the alternate head, smiling face here. And then for the sweater, I'll show you in a second once we get into it, but it's supposed to be able to let you recreate him taking his shirt off. Oops, and there it goes. And then for the hands, like we saw just at first here, and I might as well take a closer look here. So fairly straightforward and fairly self-explanatory over here. So this is actually, I don't know what this is. Oh, no, sorry. This is for him holding the stand arrow. You can see that he has a hole in there, but he doesn't come with the accessory. So this is for holding the stand arrow that normally comes with Cripple Polnareff. This is the bleeding hand. It's kind of just chopping for, I believe, when he either throws the blood in Giorno's eyes. And then he has some relaxed hands on either side. Over here you see fingers out. Sorry for my giant hand in the way, but you see just more relaxed hands. And then for this hand, I'm not entirely sure. It's like a fist, but it also has the index finger kind of jutting out a bit. I think maybe this is just a particular pose he does. And then for this hand over here, just the index finger sticking out a little bit so you can get him to point or like do the Darth Vader grip. Okay, I gotta figure out how to show this a little better without dropping it. But that pretty much does it for this hand. And then let's take a look at the display stand for a sec. So I don't normally do this, but I realize I haven't been able to, or haven't done this, or gone over this, but the display stand has actually 3 pieces here. So you see Jojo's Bizarre Adventure, and so what you can do is take apart the display stand here, and then when you get multiple figures, you can see that like one side has the peg hole for the stand, or the display arm and whatnot. So what you can do when you get multiple figures is you just take multiple of these and then just plug it in, so you have more than one arm holding up. Okay, that really much does it for the accessories, so let's take a look at the figure itself. Alright, so Diavolo stands about roughly just a little under 16 centimeters tall, which comes out to be also just a little under 6.5 inches. So here he is next to Giorno in Gold Experience. Let me just pull those out for you right here. Okay, so here he is next to Giorno. Giorno's legs are a little spread apart, so let me just put them together. Just so you can see a size comparison. So Giorno's going to be a little bit shorter, as expected, so that's nice. And here he is next to Gold Experience, right here, so roughly the same size. And of course, the review that is coming up next though, here he is next to King Crimson. Let me just get him standing straight up. And he'll come into frame right about now. Alright, cool. Alright, so King Crimson's pretty big. So you see, I think he's got some pretty good size for a main antagonist, which is nice. Alright, cool. Let me just kind of put these aside. Okay, so let's talk paint and sculpt very quickly. So, I mean, you can kind of see what it looks like yourself. But the paint and sculpt here, he's mostly shirtless. But I'm actually pretty impressed by these lines. So, I mean, there are some certain spots where it looks like it's a little messy, but overall, I'm fairly impressed. It's really clean throughout. It's supposed to mimic like a mesh shirt and whatnot. But it's this part that's kind of impressive right here. All the small details, all this line work. So it looks really nice. It's not sculpted, it's just painted, but it's pretty intricate here. And these two pieces, they're supposed to, I guess, mimic the clothing, because I think he's wearing, again, like a mesh or fishnet shirt, and then this is the tail of the shirt. So the paint scheme is pretty cool. He's also got some shading throughout his chest here. I don't know, his pecs look really bright. I'm pretty sure it's not my lights. But yeah, the chest is kind of bright there. I don't know if that's accurate, but there is shading throughout, and it does, look fairly nice for the most part. Okay, and then for the outfit itself, pretty nice here. Got some sculpted folds throughout and shading throughout the pants, things of that sort. Each of these are sculpted and painted fairly cleanly, and I do like the green, the winter green belt here, and things of that sort. And the hair, again, very nicely done. The spots here throughout the hair are fairly nice. Okay, let's take a look at the articulation, though. So for his head, so thanks to the head sculpt, it is going to hinder it, but, I mean, technically it is there, so you can get left and right once you finagle it a little bit. But it is there. For the neck, let me just pop it out so you can see. So for the neck here, thanks to the way it's sculpted, you actually get just okay articulation here. I don't know. So you see, like, it doesn't rotate that much. And then going forward, it's like just a little, and going back just a little. So the head articulation is going to be fairly limited, actually. So let me pop it back on. But here he is, looking as far up as possible. Again, thanks to the hair, not that much. And here he is looking as far down as possible. This is actually pretty decent, I would say. But again, a bit of a trade-off thanks to the hair. For the shoulder, it's actually a newer joint that they've been using, I think, since Diablo and even for Stone Ocean. But then it's like these barbell joints. So it's like a ball over here and a ball on the inside. So what you can do is you get him to rotate at the shoulder, kind of like Whitesnake here. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, I see it's a ball inside. So it's a barbell joint over here, so you do get pretty good range of motion going up like this. You do get the full rotation. Again, the hair is going to get in the way a little bit over here. But yeah, in place of any kind of butterfly joint, you have a little socket there, which is nice. And then for the bicep swivel, there is not one, but again, it does rotate at the shoulder, so you can kind of get it over here. Yeah, you can see. And then for the elbow, double jointed, pretty good range of motion. You can have him punch himself, right? And then it is pegged into the bicep and the forearm, so you get a swivel on either side over here. Again, watch out for the elbow pad. And again, you can swivel at the forearm if you want, but it's a little harder now because of the sculpt. And then for the wrist, you have this hinged peg over here. The wristbands do get in the way a little bit, though, because it's technically there, but again, because of how far it's sculpted down, it is going to limit it. So you see it's there, but it's going to get in the way. So be mindful of that. And then for the diaphragm and the chest, video's just out of focus today. Okay, for the diaphragm and the chest here, single ball joint up here and down here, so pretty good range of motion in terms of rotation, or kind of like swiveling. So here he is going side to side, here he is going forward, not bad. Here he is going back, it's okay. And then for the hips, oh, let me rotate him, by the way. So it's good, but it does break up the paint a little bit here, you can see. And then for the hip, or the waist, I should say, here he is going forward, not that much. Here he is going back a little bit better. So combined, here he is going back, and here he is going forward. So it's all right. It's all right. It is there, and here's the rotation. And again, thanks to the way it's sculpted, because he is like wider wider than he is this way, it is going to get in the way because it's not round. And then for the hips, fairly standard joint. Let me pull out here. Fairly standard joint though. Here he is going out to the side over here. And here it is going forward, so pretty good. And here it is going back. These things are soft, so they will move out of the way, but I'm just going to be careful anyway. So it looks like he can go a little further than that before this starts bending. And then you do have the thigh rotation. This one is frozen for mine. This one is okay, but you can see it is there. And then for the knees, fairly standard. This is just something to take note of, and something that does happen from time to time is that the knee joints can be a little bit loose. So mine is a little bit loose. It's kind of annoying. It's going to vary from figure to figure, but regardless though, double jointed knees, pretty good range of motion. You do get rotation at the knee as well, so no problem there. And then for the ankles, the way that it's sculpted, thanks to the pants splitting up like this, you should be able to get better range of motion. But then you have the shoe tongue right here getting in the way a little bit here. But here it is going down to the max, here it is going up. Actually pretty good. And then here's the toe hinge. And then you do get a bit of an ankle rocker, but again, because of the pants being so flared out, it is going to get in the way. But let me see what I can do. Okay, you can kind of get it, but you see it's going to get in the way. So overall, I would say it's a fairly decent figure. Articulation in the arm and in the legs is actually pretty good. He's kind of skinny when you compare him to the other main antagonists. Well, I guess he's like... Well, Dio's not that big. Poochie's a little taller. And Kira just happens to be wearing baggy clothes. So overall, pretty good range of motion, pretty good look. Before I close up this review, though, I did say I was going to show you how to do the clothes, or the shirt. So let's see. For that one, you got to pop off his arms, or not arms, his hands. And what you do here is you take the shirt, and I think you take... It's this side up, because you want this bulging part to be where his head is. But you essentially, and hopefully I can do this on camera, you essentially just put the elbow, so you got to bend it horizontal here. But you got to put the elbow where this part is right here. And then you just kind of tuck his head into that round part like that. And then you just slip the hand back on. So let me do it with the fist here. It's easier with the open hand. Let me see. Okay, it's easier with the open hand because the open hand is just bigger and there's more to hold on to. Okay, so you just kind of go like that. And then you just kind of place it up on his head like this. And as you can see, I'm just going to slip this hand through the hole. Oh, let me see if I can do it on camera. Okay. Here we go. Okay, cool. All right, so you just put it up like this, and then you put the hand over here, and that is pretty much it. You can kind of, adjust it to make it look better, but you can get him to take off his clothes, basically. I don't know, like, because he's already shirtless, but I guess if you have him taking it off, it's, like, sexier for some reason. So you can have that option. One thing I do want to point out is that the shade of purple is not the same as his pants. I don't remember if that's on purpose. So, I don't know. It's okay. If it's meant to be a different shade, then that's cool. If not, then I don't know. But overall, the shirt itself is kind of cool because there's shading on it as well. Okay, well, that pretty much does it for the review of this figure, though. I would say if you like the character, go ahead and pick it up because it's pretty cool. It tends to be a little bit more expensive, I think probably because of the paint and because of the parts. Like, a pretty good amount of the parts are unique to him. So, like, again, like, if a figure uses parts, it tends to be cheaper, which is why some of the Passion characters aren't that expensive, because they reuse the shoes and things like that. But this one, it looks like there's a lot of unique sculpt to it, plus the paint is intricate. So if you like him, go ahead and pick him up. I feel like you can probably find this character fairly easily, because he's not super popular, because he's not in the anime yet. But yeah, other than that, though, that pretty much does it for this review. So if you enjoyed, feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more. I'm going to put this guy in some poses at the end for you guys. Yeah, thanks for watching.